Equivalent expressions have the same value, regardless of the value that is substituted for the same variable in the expressions. Use the properties of operations to write equivalent expressions for 3 times the quantity of 4x minus 1 and 2x plus 4. How do you apply the commutative properties? You can switch the order of addends and factors. How do you apply the associative properties? You can regroup addends or factors. How do you apply the distributive property? Multiply each term inside the parentheses by the number outside the parentheses.
Think about how you can use these properties of operations for any numbers a, b, or c.
Use the distributive and associative properties to write an expression equivalent to 3 times the quantity of 4x minus 1. First, use the distributive property to show the expression as 3 times 4x minus 3 times 1. Simplify 3 times 1 to 3. Then, use the associative property of multiplication to regroup the factors as 3 times 4x minus 3. Simplify 3 times 4x to 12x. The expression is 12x minus 3. 12x minus 3 and 3 times the quantity of 4x minus 1 are equivalent expressions. Use the distributive property in reverse order to write an expression equivalent to 2x plus 4. What does it mean to use the distributive property in reverse order? Look for a common factor of both terms that is greater than 1. 2 is a common factor of both terms because 2 is a factor in both 2x and 4. You can apply the distributive property in reverse to show the expression 2x plus 4 as 2x plus 2 times 2, which is equivalent to 2 times the quantity of x plus 2. So, 2 times the quantity of x plus 2 is equivalent to 2x plus 4. You start with 2 terms that have a common factor and rewrite them so that the common factor is used to multiply a sum or difference of 2 terms. Now you can write equivalent expressions in more than one way.
The distributive property and other properties of operations are used to write equivalent expressions. In previous lessons, students wrote and evaluated both numerical and algebraic expressions. In this lesson, students extend their understanding of algebraic expressions by applying properties of operations to write equivalent expressions. This problem is key because it requires students to write an equivalent expression and justify their answer. This problem also gives teachers an opportunity to determine whether students can use the names of properties, or if they can only communicate the concepts of the properties. Listen and look for students who apply the distributive property incorrectly. These students may or may not recall what the distributive property is. Those who do recall what it is and how to apply it to numerical expressions may not understand that they can apply it in the same way to algebraic expressions. Remind these students of multiplication problems they solved in previous grades using the distributive property and mental math. Multiplying the sum 40 plus 8 by 2 is the same as multiplying 40 by 2 and 8 by 2. Help students verbalize the distributive property. Multiplying a sum by a number is the same as multiplying each addend by that number. Finally, guide students in applying the distributive property to write an equivalent algebraic expression. Multiplying the sum of 3x and 1 by 2 is the same as multiplying 3x by 2 and 1 by 2. Listen and look for other students who write an equivalent expression and attend to precision in the use of property names as they explain how they know their expression is indeed equivalent. The essential understanding students gain from this problem will help them complete the remaining exercises in this lesson.